After we moved to Inuit, and I think the whole Inuit thought anyone coming from Givalip, my region, must know drum dancing. So first year, second year, I got invitation to do something. Of course, I don't have any drums. I just talk about drumming. And invitation, it was more, every year more invitation right into to my years as a teacher. Then I start my drum club at Jomi School, where all my kids, like 15, 16, 17 kids, I told them at the beginning, in the 8 months, most of you, or if not all of you, will finish a child-size drum. Plastic, which is easier to work with. Few of them finish their drum in the first month, 2 months, but most by June would finish their drums, and I use them in my classroom all the time. After we form a drum club, and I use them during that. And Inuit start to notice, oh, these kids from Jomi School, they're drumming. They start to ask this little group from my class, you want to come to the hospital and perform? Or at this meeting, at this government site, and these grade 3, grade 4 just drum dance like there's no tomorrow. And they amaze these people. And these kids got invitation to perform outside of Inuit to Kimirut, teach elementary, middle school, high school, and the public over a few days. And this little same group got invited to Yellowknife to school gathering. All the kids from across Canada attend there, something science maybe, and they were asked to perform, and they did for a few days and visit all the schools in Yellowknife, and that really generate these young kids. They want to be drummers forever. And it was good to see them. Even at Jomi School, during the end of the year, talking to the parents, many has told me on their way out, said, David, I'm so happy that my daughter or son can drum dance now. First drummer in perhaps 2 generations or more. To hear that from a parent, because they want to pass it on to me, it was good. It's something I will not forget. And the drumming part in Inuit was born. Other adults start to do more drumming. They asked me to do things, drum making, how to start traditional drumming. And of course, I don't know how to say no. And it took me a long time to actually learn how to make a drum. I have a picture of my late father making a drum in Anada Lake. I said, how did he make that? When my first child, Amanda, was born, my late father one for her with caribou skin I have today. It's hanging on the wall there. And in Inuit, I try to make how he makes them. I watch him making drums, and I tried and tried and tried and tried, and every one of them would snap here or there. Said, "There's no way I can make like his." So I threw a fit and said, "I quit." It come to a point I was watching CBC Sports downhill skiing, and many jumped their ski would moving like this. Oh, they're bending. So that maybe I can make them out of skis. So I found a pair of old skis, tried to bend them without applying anything. Almost bang, big snap. So this is it. I'm not making darn drums anymore. The next day said I should design that will work for me. So my first drums in the first year were not great, but they make a sound. I think one time I even took one of my drums to Ottawa, so my uncle Casimir, even before touching it, he know what's wrong. So from there, I never looked back. All the drums after that sounds not too bad. So from there, I've been drum making ever since. That other young people start to get interested in Inuit in general. So when they learn the basic drum dancing, they want to add on their own kind of movements and stuff. And I said, okay, sky's the limit, but learn all these things first. So new age was picking up. It's more slowly picking up today, but art itself, drumming, I think it's dead long time ago when the elders passed away. So the art of drumming also weakened, is almost thing of the past. And especially in South Baffin or Baffin, which is more missionaries came before us, and Hudson Bay, that they more into square dancing and accordion and fiddle, and not so much drumming, but Inuit managed to pick it up pretty good, and that also and realized it was part of my survival after I moved to Inuit. I was so homesick, I don't know why, to Eskimo Point. After 1 week in Ottawa, Eskimo Point, I get bored again. I want to go back to Inuit. I've been doing. I realized I need to take it more seriously. And from there, I never looked back. And also, my real survivor. I guess with relocation, being in Inuit, all these were becoming too hard on me. And I drink more, until I said I better stop drinking. And drumming was one of them. Where, and I also, if I want to change personally and have a happy family, be a good father, good husband, I need help with drinking. So I decided to take a treatment. Just 3 people know. My wife, me, and my superintendent, and my doctor who signed papers. And it was done in a flash. Then I was in a treatment in Toronto. I think it was almost 2 months. Then from there, that's where the drumming really come back. Really concentration on something I need to do. Drumming was one of the key things. So, and I think that took me all the way to my retirement. I mentioned earlier, I was in the field of education for 30 plus years, and I want to find my own exit and look at the possibilities of retirement. And also, I want to end my career while I'm still in good health. I want to do more drumming. I want to go more on the land. If I ever get grandchild, I want to teach them how to drum dance, take them to outfit and hunt. At the end, it happened like that. And to top it off, this job came in Ottawa, teaching at Université Laval program. The first application wasn't successful. They said they found someone already. Not too long after, they said, I got a call, you want to work at NS, University of Laval. We'd love to have you. I'm not sure about we love to have you, but you'll be good at it. So I was planning to exit from teaching in a way. So I was offered a position here in Ottawa in person, but all my pay was still was with GN until 2008. It was a 2-year commitment, and 2-year secondment, and they decided to keep me at University of Laval until 2012. And after I signed my papers, I retired with full pension with GN at the end of 2008, while still working here at NS until 2012. That movement was in my favor because I have more grandchildren now. I think I can do everything which make me very happy. I take them to Iqaluit a few times, to Ahiarmiut a few times, and also introduce drum making with all the big kids. Now the baby of the family is into drumming today. Also into hunting. So this summer I'm taking the baby up to Ahiarmiut to get her first caribou. Now she's also tried drumming this year, and I talk so much about Ahiarmiut. They're pretty keen on being Ahiarmiut, and this past March break I have an opportunity to organize a 2.5 day workshop for my big grandkids with a PowerPoint presentation of my family history, Ahiarmiut in general, and they thought they were 100% Ahiarmiut. They were pretty happy. They were drum dancing. So things like that I really enjoyed during my retirement. Then when I retired in 2008, I realized it's good for my mentality. I have good happy years in the field of education. I try to do changes, just much change, but still I feel satisfied, but never enough. And it was time to focus on myself towards retiring. When I stopped drinking, more focus on drum dancing, drum making. Grandkids came along. That changed everything. And I focus more on them now. So would I do all this again? Probably. With few changes, but probably. But I was very glad I exited on my own. I did good 10, 15 good years with what I love to do, travel, drumming with kids, travel with my wife, and many times do nothing. Many of the invitations across Nunavut from many schools to work with kids on drum making and drum dancing. Many times when I arrive into settlement, they have selected kids already who are having not the greatest time at their schools due to attendance, drugs, drinking, relationships. Most are at borderline. Some are just happy to be sitting in my drum workshop, just sitting. Some make drums, some, not many, just want to chat and open up. I just listen about what their problem is, who's doing what, who's hurting them, those kind of things like that. And they just talk, and soon after they really get into making things and focus on drum dance. I never lecture them that they should dance like me. I just demonstrate how it was done in the past, and they pick it up usually in an hour or less. And went to many places like that. I went to one community and I did my drum dancing demonstration, drum making session with the group, young group. Weeks later, I got an email that someone in my group, in that community, was in the verge of suicide. That email said, this young person choose to live because he learned how to drum dance. And to hear that weeks, months later, It's something I will never forget. I'm not sure who was, but it helped someone. And the drumming was, drum making was more taking momentum after I moved down from Iqaluit to Nunavut Siwinik after I retired. Even at the school here, we get good publicity. More people see drum making. I get lots of invitations from Northern Quebec to Gouldra to work with kids on drum making and drum dancing, and also to Happy Valley, Goose Bay in Labrador, to Makhovik and Nain, a few places in Northern Labrador to work with kids on summer programs. And it's built, even though it's very short time usually, give me a week, just enough time to teach them the basic drum dancing. And then I'm back here, next group would call and so on. It was 2007 maybe, I was in Happy Valley, Goose Bay, working with maybe 10 kids. Just last week, one of my former students emailed me, said, David, you won't remember me. I was your student in 2005 or 6 at Happy Valley. You taught me how to drum dance. I am still drumming today in the group. I wonder if you could make few. So that really makes my day. Yeah, and also doing this, my trips are this long. Every community is never get boring. New school, new community, new kids. I mean, it never a dull moment, at least anyway for me. I just got back from northernmost Inuit community from Greece Fjord just last month for a week. And they want me to come back May 2023. So my plan is to go up there again to work with different kids at the same school. And kids here, while I was at Nunavut Siwinik from 2006 to 2012, although it was not my real duty, but I want to learn them how to make drum and use it respectfully. And if they do that, then add on their all kind of movements, and they did. And we get to explore. Let's see, not just inside the classroom. Let's try a practice outside. Let's do a practice at the market, which they thought was pretty neat. And pretty soon, just like Iqaluit, people hear and seen through media, kids drumming at Nunavut Siwinik, they start to get lots of invitations. And it become one of their signature things that they do at the school is to learn to drum, perform it, and that kind of thing, which was good. I asked my supervisor before I retired from there. I like to design a course, because all their courses through Algonquin College, credit courses. I like to design a course that will credit our students. Said, yeah, what? I look at drumming, Inuit music. I'm not a musician by trade, but I know a thing or two about songs, Inuit behid, drum dancing, drum making, and also explore Inuit songs, modern songs. They are Inuit songs. They are made with passion. So it's their stories. Students need to know these songs too. So I was given okay to put together a course, even with the number. I think I put my E1-602 on it, which was my Eskimo identification number. And I think it was short-lived. It was not practiced after I left, but things like that really gave me joy to go back the next day and do more.